Okay, I thought I'd go ahead and show you my setup in the Suburban that I use mostly when I'm going hiking and I stay at trailheads, or on my way there sometimes I'll pull off into a parking area that allows overnighting, and this is how I'll stay. This avoids me paying for an expensive hotel room, and I think it's kind of fun. I have all my windows blacked out with this what's it called? It's like bubble wrap with a foil overlay. The other side of it I painted black so that you can't see it. Now what's on this window is a little bit different, and I'm going to be changing that out. But I do that to all the windows. Now this I built last year, and boy is it junky. I need to clean it out. I built that to hold all my stuff. Keep the clutter up out of the floor and put all that stuff up there. Now some of that stuff, like I said, I do need to take some of that stuff out. I'm not even using it. But anyway, this stays. I made a table. You can see that one is up right there that I put my stuff on at night. And then here's one here also that if I needed to cook in here, say it was raining or something, I need to cook in here, I can bring this up. I have a dowel right there that holds this up. Now the other reason I had to make this door is because right here I have my tire jack, tire tools, and all that stuff is inside this compartment. So I had to have this regardless of whether I made it into a table or not. Anyway, and behind here I've got that window blocked off with a piece of, I think it's cardboard that I did. Yep, cardboard, and I painted the other side black. And you really can't see it. Alright, so this is my bed. This is made out of slats. This actually slides, when I'm not using it, slides all the way and meets right there. So anyway, and then this is a trifold mattress that when it's folded up, it just sits on top of that portion there and is out of the way. My second seat is folded down right now. I have to do that because to give me enough length to lay down. And the head of my mattress is on that. Let me go show you that. Otherwise, I would be too long to fit in the back. I could do it diagonally, but I was trying to make something that was comfortable and easy, and this is the best way I could find out. Is I just fold my middle seat down. I cover it with a sheet because this stuff right here, well, it's already got stains on it. I didn't want it all dirty. I've already gotten it dirty. Plus this stuff ruffles up the more you slide things across it. So I just have a sheet that's covering that up. This is where I keep my clothing in that bag. Everything else that I'm not using for now just goes in the floorboard. I got a blackout curtain and I cut it in half across the width. It was way too long. I cut it in half. Then I was able to run a bungee cord through it, and using the coat hanger, I made a hook for that thing, and I ran it down here and attached it. Now I had to be very careful because I've got airbag stuff up in here, so I was trying to not do anything too invasive. Anyway, just ran that bungee cord through the hem of it and made some Velcro pieces and put it down the middle so I can shut it off. And it hooks on the other side the same way. I did add some Velcro right here to pull this across to kind of close it up. Yeah, I just don't, sometimes when I'm being really stealthy, I don't want anybody knowing that I'm in here. That just blocks out any of that light. Now, on this side, this is where Dottie sleeps in her little doggy bed, and then when it's cold, like it was the last 2 nights, or the night before last, this is her down sleeping bag that we take hiking. I just brought it along, and she can snuggle down in that. Like I said, a bunch of junk that I'm not necessarily using just goes on the floorboard. Extra water. I installed a secondary battery and ran a connection here. This battery is what I use to, at night I charge my phone with this. I also can plug in this fan right here for the summer months or the hotter times of the year when I'm needing more breeze and not any heat. Still trying to work that out to see how I can make it cooler. Right now this is working fine, but anyway, this plugs in here. I've got a monitor here that gives me a readout of how much battery I have left. Let me see what that's at. 12.7, which is really, really good. And all I've done is charge my phone from this because I'm not using this fan. And that just turns it on and off. It's run to under the hood. I've got it attached with a kit that allows my alternator to keep it charged as well as my cranking battery. I'm going to try to find a little 12-volt heater to see how that would run on this and see how much battery it would use. Last night and the night before, I was using a little heater from home with this extension cord because I'm in a campground and I can plug in without a problem. But that's what we use. And it did fine. But I may not always have electricity. So, in that green box right there, I've got a little camp stove and propane bottle. Here is a middle of the night bathroom. No need to explain that. That shelf right there, I never did get another dowel fix to hold it up, but I found out that my water bottle, I always keep this water in here. It works perfectly for that, and it's handy if I need it during the night. I've got my Lucy light up here that I use during the night. When that thing is on, this whole thing is lit up. It's perfect. This is I'm gonna call this a 40-degree quilt. It's one I made for backpacking, but I use it in here as well. This is another shade. This is for the back window. I took it out this morning when I got up just so I could have the sunlight come in so I didn't have to turn my light on and I could see out as well. But I'll put that on at night and it totally blocks out the light from inside. Anybody seeing that I'm in here. I keep a headlamp over here to my left so I can grab it if I need to get out real quick. And I've got those cup holders there, perfect. I can put my water cup that I drink on during the night there and it won't spill. The side windows up there on the second seat, that's a different material. That's the first stuff I bought, and it's just cheap. It was a car shade that I cut down to fit those windows. It's just cheap. It's working for now, but I'm gonna redo those. I found another car shade on clearance. I've got it up there. I'm gonna do some cutting on it and redo those because those don't hold the paint very well on the other side, and it's flaking off, and you can see the silver sometimes through the window on the outside. I do have some shades up here, window coverings for the front window. Before I made these curtains, I was using those on the front windows just to black the whole thing out. To get in and out of here, I originally was going in and out the side door, but I found it to be kind of hard with my clothes basket up there. So I just use my key and I open up the back hatch and get in and out that way. And technically, if it got too cold in here or even too hot, I can remote start it with the keys and run the air or the heat for a little bit and make it more pleasant. There's plenty of room. When I sit down on this, I can still sit all the way up without leaning my head over. Now, if I put my hair up in a bun on top, it does touch the ceiling, so I just keep my hair down or either on the back of my head on a ponytail until bedtime. And I can move around just fine. Dottie will stay right up there in her little bed. Occasionally she'll try to slip over in my bed, but she's learned that that's her spot. And she does really well with that. I don't hear any complaints out of her anyway. You have any complaints, dear? I don't feed you enough. What are you talking about? You're fat, you pretty little puppy. Okay, we're about to have to leave the campground, so I'm trying to get everything back into position it's supposed to be in. I've folded the bed back up. That just slides. Once again, it just slides in. Those slats do. And that just sits like that. This is how it looks the rest of the time I'm using the Suburban when I'm not camping or not having to use the bed. So I have all this usable space back here for groceries and everything. I did go ahead and put this one seat back up. Dottie's laying on the other one. I'll move her in just a moment and get it put back up. And I just wanted you to see how it looks when the bed is not in the sleeping position. And I've got plenty of room back here. And this is where I'll put, I've got stuff in my front seat, the kitchen stuff and the cooler, and I'll just set it back here in a bit. Alright, when I take these curtains down, when I'm not using it, when I'm not sleeping in this anymore, I end up undoing this Velcro, and then each section here, when I undo that Velcro as well. Anyway, I'll end up gathering this up, putting it up there, and then I'll tidy it up by tying this up here. I'll do that real quick and show you what it looks like. Okay, here you can see I've got it where it's all bundled up. I'll do the same thing to the other side, and then I'll show you how I store it away. Alright, I've got the curtain down. I've got each section bundled up neatly. I'm just going to take the two sides and just roll it up. And I will stuff this into one of these cubbies. And there it is, stuffed in there. I've got to reorganize that thing, seriously. Thought I'd go ahead and just show you the extra battery that I added to run any accessories in the back. That's my starting battery, my main battery. And this is it's a deep cycle battery that I added in with a dual battery isolator kit. So we have this hooked in. You see that red wire. Whoops, let me zoom out. That red wire runs over here, connects into this battery. But in between the two, we've got this isolator. This allows my alternator to charge both batteries, keep them both topped off, without anything draining that battery unless it's hooked, I'm using that outlet in the back that I showed you. This also, having this little toggle switch, allows me to boost myself. If this battery runs down and I can't crank the truck, I can flip the switch and then it will boost off that battery there. Then I can come back and flip that back. But anyway, this allows my alternator to charge both, but it keeps that battery from draining down with anything else related to the truck other than when I'm plugged into the outlet that is only attached to that battery. I got that off Amazon. Can't remember how much it was, but it was very, very well worth it. Just for the fact that I can boost myself off and I have to rely on somebody else. I do carry booster cables for that, but this allows me to come flip a switch, crank up, and get gone. I mean, if I get in a bad area and have trouble. Anyway, it's really nice. Well, that's just a little look at how I live in this thing when I'm out and about. They're annoying. They're cute until they open their mouth.